Hello, folks. My name is Eldor Vugman, and today we are going to talk about the 2026 sports year. The sports events of 2026 will be absolutely terrific, maybe the best in human history. We've had 2018, but nothing comes close to this. All right, nothing comes close to this, and let me tell you why. But before that, I just want to thank you for tuning into Elder Sports on YouTube. Thank you so much for the continued support that you have given me throughout this year thus far. So, 2026. What do we have? All right. So first of all, let's start with what we already had. We had Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California, where the Seattle Seahawks have obliterated the New England Patriots. I've made a video about that as well. I'll put a link in the description. And 29-13, they have obliterated the Patriots. That was a great event. I mean, the game not at a high level defense, of course, but it has disappointed a little bit when it came to the offense. But defensively, it was great. And the Bud Bunny halftime show was amazing. The message was a little bit political, but I'm not gonna get into that. All I agree with is that it was amazing. It was amazing. The show itself was amazing, and I really think he did a great job. I'll give it a 7, despite being great. Despite being great, after I've seen what the message was all about, I give it a 7. But I loved it. I loved it. I watched that live, and I loved it. And Super Bowl 60, folks, was the greatest event on this channel's history. In this channel's history, and thus far, of course, thus far. And we are going to be much greater in the 2026 FIFA World Cup, which will be held in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. But we'll get into that later. Next up, March Madness. Before getting into March Madness, Super Bowl 60 is behind us, marking the best event in ELX's history, the history of ELX, my channel. So, moving on to March Madness now. Now, we are currently at the top 4, which I think this is a great timing filming this video. We have Illinois, UConn, Arizona, and Michigan. Who am I gonna pick? I'll tell you who I think and who I want to win. I want Arizona to win because of Richard Jefferson and Aaron Gordon. Shout out to them. Love them. But I actually think Dan Hurley in UConn. Dan Hurley and UConn will be on top once again, as they have been eliminated painfully last season. But yeah, let's see what happens this year. Again, I want Arizona to win, but I think UConn will win it. But again, no disrespect to Michigan and no disrespect to Illinois. They're great teams as well, but I see UConn as the favorite. Moving on to the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. I'm not gonna get deep into that, but all I can say is that the men's national Team USA men's national hockey team, wow, that was amazing. And the thing that Mike Tirico said at the end to wrap things up for the NBC and Peacock crew was absolutely amazing. And really, they're just kings. They're kings. And the Milan Cortina Olympics were amazing. They were amazing. I watched the ski jumping, and the view. I mean, you see all of these folks live right next to the event, to the venue, and this is the beauty of Europe. I really love Europe, and yeah, that was amazing. The 2026 Milan Cortina Olympics, Winter Olympics, that is. Moving on to the NBA, now. Um, let's look at that like that. All right, we have the Denver Nuggets, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, we have the Detroit Pistons, Cleveland Cavaliers, the Knicks, and you know what? I'm gonna throw in the Timberwolves as well. These are my contenders. All right, they have the highest chances to win it all. I do not have the Celtics as contenders. I do not have the Rockets as contenders. Absolutely not. And I do not have the Spurs as contenders because the Spurs will have they let's just say they just need to lose in the first round this year and then or in the second round. Their max potential this year is a second round exit, but they will be eliminated this year and they will be much better next year, and then I will consider them as contenders next year 100%. But yeah, I do believe that the finals will include the Cavaliers and the Nuggets. Cavaliers and Nuggets. I know I did that last season. I predicted that to happen, but you know what? Let me do that. Let me put the Knicks and the Nuggets. Knicks and Nuggets. At the at the NBA Finals. I don't have the Pistons because I have them losing in 7 games at the Eastern Conference Finals to the New York Knicks. But yeah, let's see what happens. And I have Denver winning in 6 games. Moving on to the MLB. The MLB, let's just put it straight in. Sorry. The Blue Jays and the Dodgers. That will be the World Series matchup again. I like the Mets. I like the Yankees. But I like the Mariners, by the way, and of course the Phillies. But I just see the Blue Jays winning. I do not see the Dodgers repeat. I do not see that because again, that will be. They barely did that last year, so why would they do that this year? I don't know. They do have the talent. They have Shohei Ohtani. They have this great head coach. But I just think the Blue Jays will come on top this season. Hopefully I'm right on that one. After the heartbreak, they had to take it hard. The heartbreaking 7 game loss, a Game 7 loss at home in Toronto. And last but not least, the FIFA club, the FIFA not club. Yeah, it got stuck in my head. The FIFA 2026 World Cup, which will be held in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. I really love it. I do not like the fact that this tournament, this FIFA World Cup's amount of national teams has substantially increased to 48, but not of a surprise here. There are rumors. There are some rumors and ideas that at the next World Cup we will have 64 national teams. Unacceptable. Not gonna happen. I don't want that to happen. I don't wish that to happen. It will be a total disaster. I'm fine with 48, but I prefer to see 32 rather than 48. But it's not under my control, so I'm not concerned anyway. But 104 games at the group stages. I mean, of course, more money, but probably more goals, more fun, more entertainment, and more to watch. I have Portugal, Germany, England, Netherlands, Spain, and Brazil as the favorites, but I don't think Brazil will come remotely close. And I have, by the way, Croatia. I have Croatia as well. I see them as the favorites. Despite Brazil, apart from Brazil and Argentina, I do not see a reason that these European national teams will not win it. And yeah, I do believe that for the next 40 years, and mark my words, for the next 40 years, there will be no, at least 40 years, there will be no South American world champ. There will be no champ. There will be a South American World Cup holder, a World Cup champion. There will be none, and I can guarantee you that. Again, it's not under my control, but that's my gut feeling, and that's what I want to happen. And yeah, so folks, and by the way, I have Portugal winning. I mean, I want Portugal to win, and I do believe that they will win because they have a keeper in Diego Costa. They have a great defense, whether it's fullbacks, defenders, great midfield. Let's not talk about that. And they have a pretty good offense, and they have a pretty good attack. So again, I and an excellent attack that is. But yeah, let's see what happens. You decide, my friend. You decide. Only God knows what will happen. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to Other Sports on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like the video, and to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you very, very soon. Once again, thank you very much.